Hello, everybody, and welcome back to episode 4 of my F1 24 ASMR career mode with Alpine. Now, I will say that this episode is a post commentary because I recorded this last week during that massive storm that took the UK by storm, and I couldn't commentate without any crashing and banging going around. So I've decided to make this a post commentary instead, which might give us a bit more leeway to actually kind of get more in and I can talk about more. But yeah, we're at Imola for the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix, getting straight into the practice programs. I think, did we manage to do one of each? Or did I have to sit out the last bit? Obviously, I haven't looked at this for quite a while, so this is new to me as well as all of you guys. So, yeah, we did manage to fit 3 in, which is good, as we headed into qualifying for the MSC Cruises Grand. I couldn't even read all that. I tried to read all that, I couldn't. Right, yes, sorry, my screen went really weird then. Right, so we started this lap terribly. Started this lap really terribly. We were well off the pace in sector 1 and we were about half a second down on Verstappen. Really converged field. It wasn't really until the second half of the lap that we managed to get it back, and it was into these corners here and a cheeky little, I wouldn't say corner cut, but definitely using all of the curbs to my advantage as we managed to gain a massive amount of time and even lead very briefly as we headed down into the last sector of this track, going through these last left-handers. I do absolutely love this circuit. As we open up the throttle, as we drive for the line, it is going to be P9, so top half finish, which is pretty good considering our pace was absolutely honking the first part of the lap. So I was very, very happy with that. Verstappen takes pole from Norris in second, Russell, Sainz, Perez, Leclerc, Piastri, Alonso, myself, and Hamilton making up the top 10. My teammate Pierre Gasly qualifying in P12, so I managed to finish ahead of my teammate and in the top half of the field, so I was very, very pleased. And then down the bottom, we have our usual suspects like Bottas, Sargent, Joe, and the like. So into the race then, and I was feeling pretty confident. I tend to go quite well around Imola, the Gran Premio del Made in Italy, dell'Emania. I nearly had it. I nearly had it. Made in Italy. That's a bit of a weird. Anyway, the sky is blue. It's sunny out. I'm just saying random words now as we look towards the starting grid for this race. So, like I was saying before I interrupted myself, this is a circuit that I do tend to go quite well around. So, I was very, very confident coming into this weekend, and obviously, you do get a bit of leeway with track limits and whatnot around here. So, you can sort of use certain lines to your advantage. We decided to go with the default strategy, starting on the medium tyre and then ending up on the soft. I think a lot of people started on hards and went to mediums. A lot of the people around me, I say that as they all started on softs and mediums. But it's lights out and away we go for the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. And we get a pretty decent launch, to be honest. We're up the inside of Piastri already, get banging wheels with the McLaren into turn 1 with Norris banging wheels with another McLaren as we get past Lando Norris for P6. Now we managed to gain 3 places off the start, but to be honest, we kind of struggled for a little bit from there. I was kind of stuck behind Leclerc as I get onto the gravel there, but we were sort of stuck behind Leclerc, struggling to really make an impression on him, struggling to get past him. I felt like we had the pace, we definitely had the pace, but it's just, you get stuck in that dirty, turbulent air and it gets really, really difficult to pass the car ahead of you. As you can see, into the braking zones, we're much quicker, but I just can't get close enough as we try into these last couple of corners at the end of lap 1. As you can see, the closing speed yet again, but just not enough. And then on the straights, obviously, we're going to suffer because Leclerc is going to start to pull away a little bit, and then Lando Norris is going to come into the fore. He's going to close up on us, but we just about managed to, and I finally got a little bit impatient, sent it up the inside of Leclerc. Thank you very much. Happy days. Let's see a replay of that as we do up the inside of the Ferrari. Didn't really defend it. I suppose he didn't really see it coming. He was taking a normal racing line. We were a fair bit behind him. is us up into 5th place as we chase down Sergio Perez again. We got the pace over him in the corners, but obviously on the straights they're just far too quick with the downforce setup that we're choosing, kind of compromising us in that regard, as Charles Leclerc having a look up the inside as we head into lap 3. He's going to go around the outside, we're going to defend it to the inside, we hold it, we get the inside line for the next corner, and we just about manage to gain the place. I was looking at the wrong battle there. Here we go, down the insides, gave Leclerc no room whatsoever to come back at us, and we keep the place, and we managed to get back up to Sergio Perez coming on to the end of that lap. There's a tasty battle going on between Sainz, Russell and Perez. We're trying to wade our way into that fight ourselves. It's proving to be a bit tricky. Again, straight line not quite there. Can't make the most of our DRS, but hang on. There's a little bit of a... Russell gets a little bit squirrely there, and that allows us to get past Perez as he suffered as a result of it. Now into these next couple of corners, Carlos Sainz is looking a bit slow, and we're going to send it up the inside of Carlos Sainz, meaning that we are now, as we give him a little squeeze, a little bit naughty there, we are now up into the podium places. We feign to go to the outside, we go down the inside, and we are up into P3 as we chase down George Russell for second. You can see there the closing speed that we have on the Mercedes. We're looking mighty in the corners. We just need to make the most. As Daniel Ricciardo heads out the race, we just need to make the most of our DRS advantage and try and find some pace on the straights. We're looking at George Russell for P2. We're going to send it down the inside. He's going to be stubborn. He's going to hang it around the outside. We're still there, and he just about concedes. And we managed to take another driver in there. We got Sergio Perez there. We got Charles Leclerc there, and we've managed to claim George Russell as well. Had to give him a little bit of room because he was still there on the inside, as we're about to see it from George Russell's point of view into that corner, as you can see. And yeah, he didn't really have anything once we got past him. Now onto lap 5, and we were starting to make a bit of gains on Verstappen, but not much. I was kind of banking on P2 at this point. However, we then get a little radio message saying that Verstappen is having a bit of an issue, and as we can see ahead, he's going very, very slowly and struggling to keep it on track. Max Verstappen going very, very wide as we take the lead of the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. Verstappen dives into the pits, obviously suffering some kind of massive issue, which means that we are now into the lead of the Grand Prix. However, Verstappen, as we consolidate that with the fastest lap of the race, Verstappen is not out. He's at the back, and he seems to have had his issues fixed, but he's dead plumb last. Can he make up that gap that he needs to try and get back in front of us? We've got a 2-second gap to Perez. This gap increases as the race goes on. We get a target lap time of a 1:23.6, is that? I'm struggling to read that. I'm seeing it in a preview screen. I'm really struggling to read it. It's so small. But yeah, as you can see, coming into the last sector, we absolutely nailed that there. With 2 laps to go, it looks like we're hopefully going to achieve that target as we come around the fight. So like I say, I don't even remember if I hit this target or not. We did hit that target. That's pretty good. As we head on to lap 8 of the race, lap 9 now, as we are about to come and make our pit stop, our one and only pit stop of the race, going on to the soft tyre. Now the question is, Max Verstappen has managed to find some pace again. He's managed to get himself back into P6. Can we stay in front of Max Verstappen? This is going to be race critical. If we can stay in front of Verstappen, if we can, we've got a great chance at the win, because Verstappen has really come on strong since that pit stop. He's fixed whatever issue he's got, and he is looking mighty once again as we come out of the pits. Piastri and Gasly yet to stop. Where is Verstappen? He's a couple of seconds behind, but we've just managed to get in front, and that means that we can keep the net lead of this race. End of lap 10 now. Piastri and Gasly coming into the pits, and we are going to take the proper lead of this race. Once again, we've managed to extend the gap to Verstappen to 3.2 seconds, 3.1 seconds. And despite him pumping in fastest laps before that stop, we have managed to keep the gap, and we are about to set a fastest lap of our own, I believe, as we come across the line for a 1:17.5, 7/10 faster than anything we'd done previously. And the gap to Verstappen was staying steady. He was pulling back here and there, and I was pulling up on him, and we were sort of gaining ground in different parts of the track. But we've managed to pass our awareness objective. We avoided leaving the racetrack for 2 laps, which for me, as you probably know by watching this, that's a pretty big achievement for me. As we head on to lap 15 of the race, and as you can see, the rain is starting to fall. It's getting a little bit hard to drive now, especially in the corners. The car is sliding around a lot. It's very hard to slow the car down. Having to be really, really careful. We've got a 6-second gap at this point. But obviously with the rain the way it is, a dip a tyre in the gravel, we've got to be really, really careful. 1 lap to go. We've managed to extend our lead, but we're making silly little mistakes like that, which is not helping. The gap is 7.5 seconds, just over, as we head on to lap 16 of the race. What a performance this has been. I mean, I knew I'd go well around Imola, but I did not envisage it going this well at all. P9 on the grid. We've managed to make the most of our actual pace. We go really wide through there. We don't want to be doing that at all. But we managed to make the most of our actual pace. And we did have genuine pace. You know, this hasn't just come out of nowhere. We managed to pass Russell, managed to pass Sainz, Perez, Leclerc. And we've managed to take advantage of Max Verstappen's only issue of the race, which has pretty much cost him this victory. And we've got about 2/3 of the lap to go. Actually, no, that's a lie. Probably less than half. Good job, I can count. We've got a 6.1 second lead. I'm just taking it nice and easy. Just making sure the car gets home. I'm not worried about that advantage. Verstappen's not going to gain 6/10 as long as I keep it 6 seconds, shall I say. As long as I keep it on the circuit. We've just got to navigate this chicane. We go a little bit wide. The car laterally sliding, as you can see, in the rain. The soft tyres really struggling to cope in the wet, but we've just got 2 corners to go. I did not envisage getting a win this early. I couldn't even see myself on the podium this season, to be honest. But as we come out of the last corner, we are going to come round to earn a very well-deserved victory and take our first win of this series here in Imola in just our 4th race, which is absolutely mental. I can't believe that. But yeah, definitely made the most of our advantage that we had today. We were genuinely quick, and got a bit lucky with the Verstappen incident. I would have taken P2, most definitely. But yeah, there we go. All the Alpine team can celebrate. I can celebrate. So climb onto the top of the car. Look at that, race winner. Esteban Ocon simulator. Yeah, I suppose we took over from Esteban Ocon, didn't we? So I suppose it's quite fitting in a way. Shame we couldn't replicate Brazil and make it a double podium, but there we go. Oh, they find it funny. As we come out onto the podium to grab our winner's trophy and to celebrate our first victory in Formula 1. How special does that feel? That's going to give us a massive bump in the Constructors. It's going to give me a massive bump in the Drivers' Championship. And yeah, it's looking very, very healthy right now. It's amazing what can happen when you're a team lower down. And one fluke result or one really, one just amazing result, what it can do for you. As we have a look at the race results, I won by 5.7 seconds in the end. Verstappen second, Leclerc third, Perez, Alonso, Hamilton, Russell, Sainz, Norris and Piastri the point scorers. Alex Albon just missing out his 11 seconds off the pace. I want to know how Gasly finished, because obviously he was in P2 before his stop, but that's obviously only because he was one of the only cars that hadn't pitted yet. But yeah, I mean, our pace was phenomenal, really, compared to everybody around us. Lewis Hamilton gained quite a lot as well. He went from 10th to 6th. Gasly finished 16th in the end, so yeah, not a good day for him. So you've got your usual suspects down the bottom. Daniel Ricciardo finishing plumb last. As we head on to the championship, Max Verstappen has a healthy lead from George Russell. Leclerc close behind him third. Sainz, Norris, Hamilton, Alonso, and then myself in ninth place. We have broken into the top 10 ahead of Sergio Perez in a Red Bull. Gasly only one solitary point this season. All these other guys get to score as we head on to the constructors, and we now have a very, very healthy advantage in 6th place over RB and Williams with that massive, massive points haul. 12 points to Aston Martin could be achievable. Who knows? But guys, that's going to be everything from me for this episode. Thank you very much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully the next one's going to be on LiveCon, because I think that's better and kind of easier to piece together. But let me know what you prefer. Anyway, but thank you very much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, please consider hitting the like button. If you're new around here and you like what you see, why not get subscribed so that you can be notified of future videos like this one. Comment below any thoughts and suggestions that you may have, and I will see you in my next video. Take care of yourselves, have an awesome day, bye for now.